Now it's time for Straight on the Point with Jesse T from some undisclosed location somewhere in the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Jesse T.
Oh, my goodness. We are back intact and ready for a beautiful heart attack today. I can feel it already. The heart attack is already happening. Oh, my heart's a pounding. Oh, my blood's a boiling. We're going to have a good time today. It's wound up, everybody. Jesse T's back on the radio with you. The Brown Beauty is back on duty. Jesse Torero. It's the Jesse T Show at www.thepowerofvoices.com. Also, facebook.com/Jesse Torero, YouTube Live, Jesse Torero, YouTube Live, The Power of Voices, Ustream, Upeak, Livestream, Periscope, Instagram. We are here and we are everywhere from the community to the world. That's what we're all about. We've got a great fun-packed show. We're going to get right into it real quickly here. We're not going to waste any time because we want every ounce, every piece of juice, every morsel of this show to get into the real deal. What real people think about what's happening in our country. Well, I want to hear the real deal from you guys. I got the crews in here. Got to bring on Michael Angelo. The crew is back with me. Yes, and I love it. Hey, Michael Angelo, man, fresh off the set of the Kiki Mobile somewhere out there, and also some other good stuff. What's happening with you, Michael, real quick?
Well, man, a lot's happening, man. Spent the day at Venice Beach all day yesterday, 16 hours shooting the Kiki Mobile. It's first Latina talk show. It's going to come on some of the major networks. I can't say who exactly, but it's turning out to be a great thing, you know, getting a lot of good responses. A lot of people came out and supported her and the team and the production team, so it was good. It was a good time.
And you are getting darker by the second.
Hey, man, you know, I'm Puerto Rican, so that's half black, half this, half that. So.
Yeah, a little bit of this, and a little bit of that.
Bit of this, a little bit of that.
Michelangelo back in the house with us. Good to have you along as we do the rounding up. David Shark Freilich. What's happening, David Shark Freilich?
Hey. Thank you very much.
In the house.
You're welcome.
You're supposed to talk there. There's no cue card. And there's no teleprompter, dude. You got to do the Trumpster. No teleprompter.
I am trying to.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm blessed to have a spiritual warfare sister in town. Originally from Texas, moved to Arizona, and then we just rescued her from Vegas. My dear friend Bridget Guillory, my big dog Mike Michaels. Great to be back with Michelangelo, Dan the Man, and you, Jesse T.
That's right. Hey, thanks for stealing my thunder. I appreciate it very much. What do I talk about now?
Okay, moving on.
Yes, no, seriously. Hey, got to bring on a brand new crew member here to the wound up crew. I don't know where the Shark got him, but the Shark brings them in. Let me tell you. Thank you, Shark, man. We're talking about Mike Michaels, everybody. Emmy award-winning, great makeup artist in Hollywood. Yes, and he promises to make my face a little bit prettier after the show. Okay.
Impossible!
What are you talking about? Lee Baby Michaels in the background.
There's a big famous thought. They say, I'm a beautician, not a mutician.
Well, listen, if you can't do anything for up here, can you do anything for down there?
Yeah, we got this doctor that does the extensions now.
Oh, really? How about the fatness? That's what I want.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The girth monster.
Oh, you
They take the fat from one side and put it in.
So then I'm lobsided, right?
Yeah.
Like Sylvester Stallone. Lopsided. That's why he walks like this. Yeah. Okay, hey, we got the Road Dog King in here. Of course, Dan the Man.
Hey, lady. Rest in peace, Jerry Lewis. Not to be confused with Jerry Lee Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
A whole lot of shaking going on.
That's right, absolutely.
That's
so
cool.
Twism, twasm, twumsum, twum. Time for this one to come home.
Oh!
Remember that, guys?
Give me some scares.
Okay, so now you got an experience right there, I know, and I appreciate that experience very much. And, we're not going to let it down now. We're going to get into the topics of the day, and we're going to get in one of the first topics I'm going to talk about. Do you really think that fat boy over there with the little wee-wee in North Korea was ever going to launch some bombs against us, the big bad 3 aircraft carriers in the South China Sea, United States of America military? Mike Michaels, what do you think about that?
Never would have been done.
You think it was a false flag incident? You think it was set up?
Of course.
And for what reason?
Because he wears too many medals on his shirt.
Yeah, did you see that? Did you see that post up with all his generals,
yeah.
all the medals down to
yeah.
their knees?
Those are buttons. You know that, right?
No, I didn't.
No, every time you go to the all-you-can-eat buffet, they give you a button, and then they put them on.
You know how you screw them up with a big magnet?
Yeah.
You know, that guy's got he's got a harem. He's got a harem of like 300 women from the ages of 9 and 10 and 11 years old,
No, that's
all the
not
way
good.
up to 30 years.
Okay, I'll take the older ones.
Yes.
So I have to become Korean. If I have to cut half my you-know-what off.
Yeah, well,
I'll forget it.
You know, I mean, really, I mean, that guy's like, he got such a big belly, he has
Serious.
to lift his belly up to find out what leg he's pissing
From
on, right?
9-year-olds up.
Yeah, no, he's got a
No, that's
harem.
disgusting.
Do you think that he was ever going to allow his sexual appetite, that predator,
Oh, no.
be taken away from him?
That's ridiculous.
What do you think about that, Michael? Michelangelo, baby. What do you think about that?
I think it's freaking nuts, man. But you know, when we talk about these kind of stuff, and you say about false flags and everything, I want to really simplify this. Okay, let's just say for a second, because I know we're going to get into the whole Trump fiasco in a minute or two. So I'm just going to say this. Just think for 1 minute that Donald Trump. Do you think that Donald Trump, of all people on this fucking planet, in this world, actually has access to the launch codes of nuclear bombs?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has access.
You think that moron has? I don't think so, man. To think that he has access, to think that he has final say
He
on
does.
pushing nuclear, I don't believe it. That whole football thing. It's all
But
bullshit.
Bozo
man.
had it on for 8 years. Think about it.
I think it's all bullshit, man. They walk around with this fucking briefcase. Yeah, we got the launch codes.
Well, it is draped in layers of authority before
Correct.
it gets to him.
That's what I'm saying. That's
There
what
are-
I'm getting
there are
at. I don't
layers
think
of authority
he
before
would
that
have.
happens.
I don't think for a
But
second.
the president does have the final say. Now,
Yeah,
whether or not the final say from the president would ever be enacted in 2017, not like Truman when he popped the 2 bombs off in Japan, when he did have absolute power.
Sure.
Different time,
Different world, different
people,
time, sure.
different everything.
Yes.
But today, I think it's layered in an authoritarian
It's too
decision.
big. It's too big.
But
It's
he
too big.
does have
It's too big.
the final say. So,
That's
Mike,
right. He does. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But it's not like a little click pen. I mean, like I said, he's got a lot of red tape to play with before they say,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think ultimately, I don't think he would have the final say on something like
Danny,
that.
man,
I
what
mean,
do you think?
I just don't think
The
so.
hand that cradles the rock will someday rule the world.
there's a lot behind that
what she
saying.
said.
Absolutely. Hey, David, what do you think
What
about
does that mean
man?
exactly,
What do you,
Val?
do you think that Donald Trump is such a moron, in Michael's words, that I don't think he's a moron. I think
at all.
I don't think he's a moron. He absolutely is not. But we'll go with that for a second. Do you think he's such a moron that they would allow this guy, moron, as Michael says, with the codes?
Number one, he also has this guy named General Mad Dog that is the head of the Defense Department right now, and he's a major decorated multi-starred admiral. And for him to rattle a saber without being able to back it up, I know he wouldn't do it, even though it's somewhat of a bluff game.
Right.
It's like who's got the biggest dick wins, because all the missiles, the submarines, the torpedoes, the rockets look like a friggin' dildo. So it's all about, hey, my dick's bigger than yours.
Well, there's something to be said to that. Absolutely.
Can I get in on this contest?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I said the contest, not the conversation.
Yes. Okay. So you see, here
They'll
really
turn it
is.
into a parking lot.
Here really.
But then no one's going to survive except for the elite underground.
There you got it. The bottom line, it's all about money. The bottom line, it's all about the dollar bill. First off, this is my impression of what took place there, and that is it was a ruse to push China and Russia in a certain way, because Russia's run a little wild with Putin there, who is the richest man in all of Russia. The rest of the nation can barely put food, butter, milk, eggs, or anything together. We know that for sure. Even today, China is expanding. They are now America's #1 creditor again. They own most of our treasury bonds. They got rid of them. Japan became the #1 creditor for about 3 or 4 years, but China's bought them all back. China's not going to jeopardize their billions and billions and trillions of dollars in the future to be made
Exactly.
in that respect. But we have to keep them in check, because so goes the world, so goes America. And America is a military might. And who owns the seas? Who owns the land? Jordan Maxwell said that so eloquently. You own the seas, you own the land. I don't care about the sky. The sky and satellites are coming into play now, but you own the seas, you own the land. And that's the bottom line. So it was a ploy to get China to get their butt in gear, put some pressure on him so we could say, look at who rules the world. That's what I think it was all about.
Let me ask you a hypothetical, really scary, like a Halloween question. What do you think would happen if a certain other party won the presidential race in 2016? If Hillary had the digits.
Well, look. She gave 20% of our uranium, our uranium to make nuclear weapons to Russia. She sold that off. Okay.
I mean,
they are the most
Democrats
corrupt.
can come up with a better running partner, but she was in from the start, and she lost just like 16 other Republicans.
They're most corrupt.
And so many people are two-faced and bought off and little puppets. And I love everybody until they give me a reason not to. And if you love Hillary and Bernie Sanders and the Democratic Party, I love you too. And if you don't, that's cool. I still love you. But don't try and take what's mine away from our heritage of the people that fought and sacrificed and died to make this country what it is.
Or intervene on that one is, and don't tell me I have to like your ways.
Right.
I don't like their ways. I don't want to be that way. I love having my own views. I love having my own heart, and I love loving what I want to love. So don't tell me. And that's what
How
they're
to
doing.
live
Hillary
my life.
says, "Love me." Hillary says, "If you don't love me." Mama says, "You don't love me." George Soros says, "If you don't love me, I'm going to pay everybody to hate you."
And how many people are getting on rafts and boats and leaving everything they left behind to go to Cuba?
Well, that's true. Absolutely. Nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to go there. Nobody wants to go
But
to
they all wanna
Russia.
come here.
Russia does not have an immigration
it like
problem
the-
from Central Americans and Mexicans.
No.
And the Asians aren't going to Russia either.
No.
So
Nobody.
they don't have an
But
immigration
everybody
problem.
wants to come here
And why
make
is
it like
that?
the shithole they left.
Right, but they want to bring that here to L.A., and that brings us to the point. Let's bring it back home. How come L.A. looks like a giant crap heap?
It does.
What's going on with L.A.? I mean, they got all this money from the state, from the sanctuary city money, from the sanctuary state money that's going to be all this political money, all this money here, but yet we still let homeless people defecate and urine on our sidewalks because that was a bill that was passed 6 years ago.
You know what? You should just say that, because I wasn't even going to bring this up. I was going to talk about it some other time, but since you brought it up, today, coming from the gym, getting out of LA Fitness. Give LA Fitness a little plug.
There you go.
So I'm coming out of LA Fitness. A buddy of mine is going through a hard time living out of his car.
Right.
Minimum, literally the guy's living out of his car.
Right, sure.
Take him to the gym. Hey, get a membership. You can shower there, do your
Right.
thing, blah, blah, blah. So we get out of the gym. We're all pumped up. We get out. And the supermarket is right next to the gym.
Right.
And these guys are throwing away cases and cases of fresh fruit.
Yeah, day-old food.
And we stopped. We said, "Hey, man, you mind? Can you give us a couple?" Oh, we can't do that.
They can't do it.
I was like,
If
"Are
you get
you?"
sick, then you sue us.
Right.
If
Well,
you pay for it and get sick, you're still gonna sue. So
Yeah.
what the hell's the
That's what I'm
difference?
saying.
because
that makes no fucking
Can you
difference.
It's
mention
because
the
the
name of the place?
left-wing lunatics,
Ridiculous.
the
Can you
left-wing
mention the name of the store?
the
Ridiculous.
left-wing lunatics that run this town since
Ridiculous.
Reardon, the left-wing
Ridiculous.
lunatics that run this town, the Democratic DNC party, Confetti Garcetti, and all the city council, they have instructed by law, by municipal code, through the health department, that if they give food away, the health department will go from an A and pull their ticket, and they will be shut down. So they can't do it.
Wow.
We used to be able to do that 25 and 30 years ago. Kroger
unreal.
markets and Ralph markets
What a
used
waste.
to allow that to
What
happen
a waste.
30 years ago.
I
But
totally
they
What
pulled
a
We
waste.
can't do it on a movie
We
either.
got people.
We have all this movie they make for 250 people. We have 120 people. That's 40 full plates of food. They have to throw it
times a
away
day.
3 times a day. They have to throw it away because they're not allowed to give it to the homeless. And the homeless are sitting there going,
And Dan the man, you live in an area where there are a lot of homeless in a place they're going to completely rebuild now. But the Monkey Wards, Montgomery Wards, over there in Panorama City
They
area.
have tents there.
They have tents there lined up along the railroad tracks. Tent City.
It's
The
terrible.
police won't even go in there. Van Nuys Division won't even go in there. And why? Because they're told not to. The city council tells them. You see, this is the bureaucracy that we live in this country, and it's not just at the federal level.
Oh, it's local, man. It's city, local, state, and on and on and on. It's all the way up the food chain. But it's a damn shame. I mean, I just, that experience has just made me really upset. I was like, wow, my buddy's here starving. He just wants a piece of fruit. He can't have a piece of fruit because, there's a lawsuit issue. If I went into the fucking store and bought it and got sick, I would still sue your ass. So what's the fucking difference?
Now, if you don't lock your trash can up behind a restaurant, if you don't lock your trash, this is a new one.
Oh,
this is a new one.
Now they got it on lockdown.
This is a new one.
So now they got
it on lockdown. If you break that trash can, you are breaking and entering into another trash can owner's trash can. Waste management. Now the city isn't even picking up commercial trash because they've regulated and bidded it out to 7 companies. Waste Management, Athens, these companies, we see them. Now the city has bidded out 20,000 people a day. Commercial businesses have to have their trash picked up at some time.
Wow.
They only have negotiated 2,000 to 3,000, 4,000 to be picked up. So there's trash being built up in alleys.
Well, do you know why it has to be locked?
Yeah, and it has to be locked.
And it has to be locked because if it's left open and someone takes your food, they can sue you because they get sick off your food.
See, this is California.
Yeah, this
okay, and this is what would happen to the federal government if the Hillary Clinton and Slick Willie Billy would have got back in.
I don't get it. What happened? Can we just go back to the days where you got the free cheese?
Yeah.
I grew up in those days, back in my neighborhood. You were starving, they give you a block of cheese, and that would last you for a whole week. Now you can't even get that. Now they got food locked down. Oh, my God.
You can't even do that.
You can't go in there and say, I'm dying, I'm starving.
But yet you can defecate.
I'm dying of water. Can I please get some water?
But they will let you defecate and urine in front of somebody's business.
Right.
And they can't arrest you.
But you can't spit.
You can't spit.
Spit's against the law, but you can't
spit. You see, this is the inconsistencies. Let's launch back to the federal level now. Let's go back to the federal level, okay? Let's go to the federal. You got it. That's right. Let's go back to the federal level because all these guys end up wanting to go become senators and congressmen and presidents and whatnot, okay? That's how they come up. That's the thing I like about Trump. He was an outsider. Yeah, you might not agree with how he made his money. If we're
I don't care. I give him props as far as that. As far as business and real estate, hey, the guy, the guy did it.
I agree with you.
I give him that.
Yeah.
But as far as his personality and everything else going on into politics now, I mean, that's why I said he's kind of a moron.
You don't like his personality.
But he acts like a moron. And we know he's not a moron, but he acts like a moron.
But there's not a person on this planet that wouldn't have done the exact same thing to make his money.
Oh, of course not. I mean, like I said, I don't hold anything as far as that.
Protesting against him.
Yeah.
They're all the ones saying he's bad.
What is this protest stuff? They would have done the
exact same thing if they were smart enough to do it.
What about this protest stuff and these statues? If it was such a big friggin' deal, how come for 8 years not one statue? Obama didn't get out there. How come Clinton didn't get out there? How come the DNC didn't get out? How come? Let's go even back far. The Bushies, which I can't stand, and they're Republicans. The Bushies, they never did nothing about it. Neither did Clinton. Neither did Reagan. Neither did Ford. Neither did Carter. Neither did JFK.
No one
now, why all of a sudden is it a big issue? Martin Luther King Jr. didn't even do anything about it. Malcolm X didn't do anything about it either. No, Bobby Kennedy didn't do anything about it. But now the statues are an issue when we got people not being able, like your brother, not being able to eat in the streets. We got people that don't have a place to go to the bathroom. You tell me, guys. David, tell me about that. How does that make freaking sense?
Don't start with me, bro. I'll friggin'...
I'm starting with you. How does that make freaking sense? Tell me how statue taking down violates anybody's ethical, moral, racist, discriminatory, bigotry, prejudicial rights. Just tell me how you equate that.
You just said it. There's people that have their head screwed on backwards, and I'm not naming any party. It's the person themselves,
the DNC,
that are followers and
the
leaders.
Republican Party.
Mainly, yeah. And everyone that just, oh my God, they're doing it, so I'll do it. And not even thinking for themselves, and they're getting paid to go do it.
Mr. Soros.
And shipped in. And it's like, are you kidding me? For hundreds and hundreds of years, we've had these, and all of a sudden, 7 months after trying to pin Russia and this and everything on the latest president, when nothing was brought up about the previous one because it was politically incorrect, now we're trying to get back to the place where you can call a crescent moon a crescent moon.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. I don't get it. Mike,
Is the crescent moon a crescent moon?
as far as you know, we just had the eclipse.
Wait, it's not called just a piece of the moon?
By the way,
That's politically correct. It's a piece of the moon now. It's not a
yeah,
crescent
you
moon.
can't say that.
See?
It's
But,
a piece of
the
the moon.
eclipse was racist, remember?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that
It was
just
a
got
racist
fired because
eclipse.
his name was
Robert E. Lee.
Robert E. Lee.
Yeah,
Football announcer.
the
newscaster.
Asian announcer.
An Asian announcer.
And
newscaster.
ESPN moved him off.
Robert Lee.
Go
Robert Lee.
figure that one
Take
out.
him down.
Robert E. Lee.
Right. Can you?
You can't have an Asian guy running around with a
Hey,
name
no,
like
no,
that.
no. How about this?
Unacceptable.
They're sitting in the ESPN boardroom, right? They don't even know who their employees are
Right.
because they really don't.
No.
Okay, nobody knows down line or too much what's happening,
No.
and they're going,
Or care.
"No, we got to get this Robert Lee off. We got to get this Robert Lee off. Get this Robert Lee. Fly him in there. We got to talk to him. We got to fly him into town, New York. Okay." He flies in. He walks in. He sits in the conference room, and the big boys coming in. This is Robert Lee. Is Robert Lee here? Robert Lee here? And they.
Little Asian guy goes,
I'm Robert Lee. Can you imagine the faces
"That
drop?
was so cool."
Oh, yeah.
Or get him on The View or something.
You're fired.
Yeah.
Why?
And that's a shame that that companies like that are placating to this pressure, which is false and created by fake news for journalists that are creating dollars for the elite.
Are
Dan
you
the man,
CNN?
have you ever had a statue talk to you and tell you that you're a stupid, big, ugly Armenian?
No, but I ran into one once. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh.
Texting.
You mean you never had a statue say the Armenian genocide? You got to do something. You haven't had that clairvoyant interpersonal
been that
communication.
high?
Never again.
But they want to sandblast the faces off of Mount Rushmore.
Right.
And they
Right.
want to take every Confederate soldier that represented the South that lost, but is still there against the North that won, but we're still in the same country. Now we're having a civil war,
Over
just like
this.
the last Civil War.
But they fought for that what they wanted, just like our libertards are fighting for what they want. But that's okay.
Yeah.
They can do that. Nobody else
Because
is allowed
okay, if they
to.
want it, but if you disagree with
Right.
them, then you're a racist. You're
Right.
a homophobe. You're a
Oh, yeah.
xenophobe. You're a
Xenophobe,
Muslimophobe.
you're everything
You're a
phobe.
something
Yeah,
phobe.
you're a
whatever.
phobia against
They label you.
everything.
Ka-ching.
Actually, a statuesque blonde once said hi to me, actress Darcy Donovan.
Oh, Dan the man,
Yeah,
the
you wanna
ladies'
tell us what
man.
happened afterwards?
Always
She
trying
was
to
my ideal girl, 36, 24, 36.
What a winning hand.
Wait,
Oh,
that
she's
was the
a
combination
brick.
to get into her? What?
Yes,
Oh,
the combination.
30. 30.
So if you had your favorite ice cream to rub over your favorite mate, what chocolate flavor would it be, or what vanilla
go.
flavor?
Chocolate flavor. What flavor it would be?
Yeah, chocolate flavor, vanilla flavor.
Orange vanilla.
I don't care what flavor it
No,
is.
orange vanilla.
Born vanilla.
Orange
vanilla.
vanilla.
You all over her,
Yeah,
right?
that's all over her.
Right, or
you
him,
wanna know which girl
or
it would
all
be?
over it. I don't know.
You want to know what girl it would be?
No.
Okay, good. Because I don't want her to know that I'm thinking about her that way.
Michael, what ice cream would you want late at night?
Oh man, I had to say cookies and cream, brother. I want a little crunch with my little ice cream.
I think that's Puerto Rican flavor coming out there, baby.
I need a little crunch with my cream.
That's not too much crunchy critters, right?
Exactly.
That's right. Dan the man.
Pistachio.
Did you say what?
Pistachio.
Wait, what did you say?
Good
What?
when you say that.
What did you say?
Pistachio.
I can't recall. Like
He
Clinton.
put his 800 voice. Pistachio.
My electrical tape is stretching on my nipples when you talk like that.
Shark, what's your favorite, man?
Either strawberry or butter pecan, baby.
Oh, yeah. Me? Hey, black cherry, baby. Black cherry.
What about your ice cream?
I want
That's what I was thinking. Like, are we talking about ice cream? Do we switch gears here?
I don't know, man.
Andrew won't.
Guys are switching on me here, that's for sure. Oh, give me some of that black cherry. Oh, yeah. Okay, so look it. Let's go back to just to cover this topic real quick about Trump and the good things that he's doing. Do you think, Michael, that he's doing anything right? Or he's just sitting up there doing
according
nothing?
to all the promises that he said, the first 100 days, he's going to do this, that, the other. And so far, doesn't seem like he's done much.
Let me say something here. It's now official. No president in U.S. history has cut more from the U.S. federal debt for a longer period of time than President Donald J. Trump. He's cut more money. $19 billion has been cut. I'll say it, $19 billion has been cut out of the debt.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so.
I'm sorry.
And that's a lot. We're trillions in debt.
$100 billion. $100 billion. I apologize. Wrong quote. $100 billion. But no other president preceding him, going back to World War II, FDR, has cut more out of the debt. So that's something good that he's doing.
Well, yeah,
is the debt being cut something good?
Yeah.
Or is it not?
Exactly. I mean, but when you compare the bigger picture, I mean, the fleecing of the government.
Well, he's cutting it when everybody else is bringing it up.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that one.
Well, the last POTUS doubled it.
Yeah.
More than all the other presidents combined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One guy in 8 years doubled it.
Doubled our deficit.
To 20 trillion.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it baffles me, and there's still $5 billion here.
But
and
he didn't do
$8 billion
anything
there.
wrong. You're a racist if you think that.
Okay, and I'm half black too, from the waist down.
Unemployment is down to 4.6%.
That's too high.
He's produced over 1 million jobs. No other president has done that in the same amount of time of a 7-month presidency that Donald Trump. Is that good, Dan the Man?
I have no clue.
Is that good, Michael?
I think it's great.
And why is it so great? Why isn't anybody talking about this stuff?
We are.
Well, why is anybody else not?
Because they don't want to talk about it.
And why do you think?
They don't want to talk about anything that he's doing that's good.
I think
they just want to badmouth him. They just want to bring him down. They just want to say, "Oh, this," because he's not what they wanted.
I think he could create. I think he could solve cancer, and they would find something wrong with him.
Of course they would.
I think that he could feed everybody in the world, all 7.5 billion people, with 3 meals a day for the next 400 years. They would still find something wrong.
There's only one thing that he hasn't done that has upset me about Trump, and that's it. And Hillary's not been arrested yet.
I agree with you.
He said he made that promise that he would put her in jail. He hasn't yet.
He's building the wall.
And that's a great wall. I hope so.
Immigration is down by 70%.
Yep.
50 to 70%, depending who you talk to.
That's one of the reasons we have more jobs.
Gee, I wonder how that happened.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense if you do Common Core math, though.
No, but
it would be reversed.
How about employees working for employers? What an interesting concept that is.
Wow.
We have more employers.
Wow.
But why are some of the major companies still leaving the state of California?
Gee, I wonder. So many restrictions.
Maybe 25% tax starting January 18th on a gallon of gas costs a semi-truck company more money.
Oh my
Just
God.
a little.
Yeah.
Maybe the AQMD and the over-the-top environmentalists.
I think overall California is probably the testing ground for all this kind of stuff. Right. That's why it always happens here first for some reason. It's a perfect testing ground. People are just walking around with ignorance, and there's not a lot of fucking energy to really fight the system, whatever. So they're just nilly-willy just going along with it. So same status quo. You can make a change today, but then down the street, and make another change and then another change, and it's just all back and forth.
I just want to say something about our friend. As everybody knows, David and myself both are, actors, stuntmen, as well as being a makeup artist myself. A really good friend that a lot of people didn't realize about all these stunt people that have been passing away. Joy that died in a motorcycle accident was just a sad shame. And another good friend of ours that I've known for 20 years, John Agro.
He just passed away, right?
Just passed away a few days ago from a massive heart attack, and I just want to, say to their families that, they were loved. And God
absolutely.
The guy that missed airbag in Atlanta, Walking Dead. It's one thing if you die when you're 89.
Correct.
And you've had a long, full life when you're retired. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the cycle.
Hey, watch it.
Why are you bringing me into this? Get you respect it off.
Top 5 favorite songs, Michael, ever played. If you ever were put in a room and you could only have top 5 favorite songs or bands.
God,
it can be bands or songs.
I can't even think that.
Top 5. Top 5. Come on now.
There's some bands out there.
I don't know. I'm old school, man. I'd say like Sugar Hill Gang.
Oh yeah.
I'll go
Rapper's Delight.
Yeah, Rapper's Delight. I'll go all the way back on you. I've always been a fan of Enrique Iglesias.
Oh yeah,
I
really?
also like his dad. I think Julio was always
Julio
the man.
was the man.
Julio
He was the
man
biggest
back in the
selling
day.
artist
Yeah.
in the world,
and
except
could sing-
America.
and could sing in every language,
Except in America.
and sung in every language.
And then when he came
that's
here,
incredible.
When he came here, he conquered America.
Yeah,
Yes, he did.
And he became one of the all-time top
well, and,
selling
any
artists
guy
in the
that's
world.
got his own island, he's all right in my book.
All right, so that's three. That's three. Got two more in there.
God, I mean, I've always been a Madonna fan. I've always liked her music.
Early
believe it or
stuff
not.
especially.
I actually knew her in New York before she became Madonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, my cousin was
saw her there.
my cousin was really good friends with her first producer. Was
Holiday.
John Jelly, yeah.
When those songs were great, man.
Yeah. And,
She was dating Sean Penn. I met her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One
Yeah.
more.
And then, God, I can't really think of anything. I've always liked the artists that come from back east. Big Pun. I've always liked
Big
his
Pun,
music.
right? Yeah.
Question: Is there anything new in the last 5-10 years that you like?
Nah.
I don't know. I think it's all hokey dokey these days.
Michael, how about
everybody's
you?
got a gimmick. It's not even about the music anymore.
Freebird.
Freebird.
Definitely
Leonard Skinner.
What a
Freebird. The
great
guitar
song.
solo is probably the greatest guitar
Yes,
solo
it is.
of any guitar solo that anybody has ever done in a rock and roll lifestyle.
Yeah.
I just love too much different music, so it's
Right.
kind of
Well,
hard
that's
for me
what I
to
was
choose.
going to say, because there's so many different music. I
Right.
mean, I'm going to
Yeah.
give you an array of stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I love Girls, Girls, Girls.
Yeah.
Because it's just everybody loves it.
I didn't.
But it was just,
Really?
it really got you uplift. It
Girls,
just made you want
girls,
to dance
girls.
and sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's another one that, of course, I donated it. I donated. Yeah, I donated it. No, I offer it off to my daughter, Mason Michaels, who is the love of my life and the reason for living. But she is a song that I donated to her years ago, and we called it "The Wind Beneath Our Wings."
This is dedicated to the one I love.
Yeah. And we used to sing it in the car. We'd drive all the way up to Big Bear all the time. We'd be singing it like
It's a great
150 times.
Road music.
And it
Road
was just,
music.
it was just because it was given to her that I love. Journey, almost anything from Journey.
Steve Perry days.
Steve Perry days.
Yeah.
Oh, up for
Steve
it.
Perry away from Journey. You like him?
No.
Yeah, he's got to be with Journey.
You got to be with Journey.
Yeah.
Journey was.
He could hit
amazing.
those high notes
Hey,
like
man,
no
we're all,
other.
hey, we're all
Okay,
millennials
and we
in this
ready for
room.
what? And
I mean,
and we
we're
got
going to
one
go
more.
back 20, 30
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, I
And then we
know.
got one
People
more.
listening to
Freddie
right now is
Mercury.
like, who are they talking about? Who are those people?
And then we got one more, Freddie Mercury.
Queen.
Oh, Queen.
And it
Freddie.
surprises me. You know
You're
what?
missing
It surprises me because I
Was
talk to a
amazing.
lot of youngsters all the time.
Yeah.
I do the gym thing, and
Right,
when I train
right, yeah.
youngsters in the gym, they always come up to me for advice, and I say, well, maybe you should start with good music, and you should maybe listen to this. This is real motivating. And they're like looking at me like, who? We've never heard of those people. I was like,
I
are
know.
you serious?
Yeah.
This is classic. I mean, this stuff is never gonna die.
The Shark.
What
You
about
need
when the
to
young
learn
kids
this
come up to
stuff.
us and go, "The Beatles? Who's that?"
Yeah, right. Shark. 5 favorites.
Van Halen, Aerosmith, Bad Company, Foreigner, and Joe Satriani.
Joe Satriani.
Wow.
Wow, that's out of nowhere.
His first album, Surfing with the Aliens,
Right.
all instrumental, and it's like I put a headphone on to Outer Space meets
Yeah.
Twilight Zone, and you create your own lyrics in your mind because it's so touching. It moves.
You sure that's
like
just
classical.
not the acid that you take when you listen to that song?
No. Plus the favorites like by Elton John.
Right.
Don't
Oh,
Let
yeah.
Your Sun Go Down on Me.
Right. Oh, please, no.
How about your daughter?
Thank you.
The list is too
Oh.
big.
Hold Me
Oh,
Closer,
it's just
Tony
too big.
Danza.
That was out of left field. All right. Dan the Man, give me your 5
The
favorites.
list is too big, man.
Dan the
The list
man.
is too big.
The Dazzling Drifters,
Yeah.
The Tempestuous Temptations, The Rolling Clones,
Yeah.
Sly and the Family Stoned Again,
Yeah.
and Their Best There Was, and Their Best There Ever Shall Be, The King. Thank you very much. I'm a U.S. male. And I like my women female.
Dazzling.
Man, you have to
Yeah.
throw it in there.
The King.
Okay, wait. I got one question.
What?
Does everybody know who sold more records than anybody?
Ever.
This ever
Ever.
still holds the record. This is gonna blow you guys away.
Yeah, Lee, you know. I'm thinking Michael. No, it's not Michael. It's not. No, it's not Frank. It's not Michael.
found
It's
this
not
out, which
Elvis.
blew me away.
It's an off the wall guy.
While we're thinking about that, what are your top 5?
Oh, listen, Frank Sinatra. Anything by
Definitely.
Frank Sinatra.
Oh, yeah, of course,
Absolutely
yeah.
number one. Number one. Number 2, anything by Led Zeppelin. Anything by Led Zeppelin. Number 3, anything and everything by the Temptations.
There you go.
Everything by them. Number 4. Oh, I tell you what. I'm sorry to say, McFadden and Whitehead ain't no stopping us now. That was one of my all-time favorite songs. I still play it today.
Got it.
I play that song today. And number 5, I got to tell you, I just love number 5. Anything by Deep Purple, Highway Star. I just love that.
Rock and roll.
Absolutely. Rap music is a whole different era. I was a part of that between 83, helped bring that stuff on. So I like the early rap stuff before it went gangster. And then when it really gangster, it became a little too violent for my taste.
I like most music unless it's ignorant. Like if you repeat things over and over and over and over and over and say, say just stupid stuff. Come on, guys. We all know what.
Well, we got to throw Tina Turner, Aretha Franklin.
I mean, where do you, James Brown?
Where do you Isley Brothers.
Yeah.
Isley, when I got a date, I throw on Isley Brothers. This is the whole line in Atlanta, baby.
Yeah.
They're like, who's that lady?
Who's that lady?
Exactly.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
Okay, you guys ready for the answer?
So,
Bing Crosby.
Oh,
Bing Crosby.
yes, White
Bing
Christmas.
Yes.
I heard
White
that.
Christmas
White
sold
Christmas.
more records than any
How
other record.
racist is that?
Yeah, Bing Crosby.
I like Tina Turner.
What about
Christmas?
Wait, whoa.
Look, I can solve racism in the snap of a finger. Okay? I can solve it in the snap of a
Let's hear
finger.
it.
Give me all your 1s, 20s, 50s, and 100s
There you
because they
go.
all were slave owners on it. I'll take that guilt right off you. Send it to Jesse Torero, 263 West Olive Avenue, Burbank, California, number
Taking all
135.
donations.
I'll get slavery out of your bones, out of your pocket, out of your life. Give me your 1s, your 20s, your 50s, and 100s.
Yeah.
I
While
got
you guys
your
are
solve.
looking it up, find out who's on $1,000 bill because they don't make them anymore.
They don't. Also, I got the other way to solve racism.
Cleveland.
I got. I swear to God, we have so many hypocrites in this country. There are so many hypocrites in this country.
Absolutely.
Okay, and I know how to make people not hypocrite and pay true to their colors and solve racism. Okay, because I'm going to call everybody out. Any white man who marries a white girl is a freaking racist.
That's right.
Any black man who marries a black girl is a freaking racist.
That's right.
Any brown Latino that marries a brown Latino is a freaking racist.
That's right.
Any Asian that marries an Asian is a freaking racist.
That's right.
Or they're Korean and they're fucking with you.
Yeah, they're a fucking, that's right. That's right.
Robert Lee.
Yeah.
He's a racist.
Yeah. Then we get into those subcategories, right? Right?
Man.
My father used to tell it
But
to me
think about
all the time. I used to say, Dad, am I adopted? And he always used to say, no, what makes you think that?
Round eye.
Well, you see, seriously, I mean, is that what it's going to come to in our country? That just because you're married to somebody and it's your same color, you're going to be labeled a racist? I mean, it seems like that's where it's going. It seems like the powers to be want to create a destructive, antisocial, anti-get-along, disruptive society in America.
Yeah.
And
Guys,
why?
Look on the
David?
left half of the $1 bill, the back of it, and that's the answer to your questions right there.
Well, tell me the answer.
Well, look on the back of a $1 bill.
Give me a $1
There's a
bill.
pyramid with a one eye, and it says
I'm in radio,
not just
man.
E pluribus
Where's a
unum.
$1 bill? That's
$1
why I asked.
bill
No, it's
too?
only on
That's
one.
why I asked for $1 bills.
Yeah, it's only on one. Yeah. It's all about the New World Order that has been enacted since 300, 400 years ago easily. And finally, when the Rockefellers and the Trilateral Commission and all that stuff became the Federal Reserve, which is no more federal than Federal Express.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They
Got nothing to
control
do
all
with
the
the
money.
federal
It says I'm
government.
trapped
You
in a
control the
Chinese
money, you
fortune
control
cookie
everything.
factory.
Because what does the money do? It buys stuff. Mm-hmm. There you go.
That's
I see it
all.
right there. Who can read the words underneath there? Who's got good eyes?
I do.
You know, the funny thing is that people don't
It's
even
in
know
Latin,
that.
folks.
A lot of people don't even realize
Novus
that. They don't understand
ordo
that the Federal Reserve is a whole
seclorum.
different thing.
You're right.
It's got nothing to do
No,
with
Novus
the government.
ordo
Let's listen to what he's
seclorum.
saying.
Sons
Hang
of
on,
bitches, all they
no,
do is
one at a
collect
time.
fucking
Novus, we'll get right to you. What's on the back of it?
Novus ordo seclorum.
Which means
I don't know.
New World Order.
Yep.
Not in the perfect, whatever it's called. Novus Nuevo, which is new.
Guess who talked the New World Order? Hitler.
FDR, too.
Hitler.
Hitler.
Yeah.
Hitler
And I
taught
don't
the
mean
New
to-
World
didn't mean to
Order.
interrupt you. What were you saying? Because I just wanted him to
Federal
read what's underneath
Reserve.
it. Federal Reserve.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's amazing to me that in this country, people don't even know that the Federal Reserve has absolutely to do with the federal government. It's a whole separate entity. It's a
Well, I think
corporation.
everybody right about now is looking at their dollars to see what it's saying.
Yeah.
I only have chump change.
And then how many of the 13 stars make a Jewish cross? And,
Yeah.
Oh, look,
It
you
goes
see
on.
the camel hiding behind the pyramid?
Right? Oh my God!
What a bunch of dung.
Well, actually, the funny thing is about it is it has no value. It's just paper. It's a note. It's all it is. It's a
It used
promissory
to have
note, which
value.
is a debt. That's all it
The
is. It's
camel
only good
behind
for
it
barter.
can't see
It used to have value.
It
I
used
know,
to
I'm
have
kidding.
value. It
Yes.
no longer has any value.
No,
There's
the
absolutely
minute
no
the Federal
value
Reserve,
to paper anymore.
the minute Woodrow Wilson gave the Federal Reserve, gave the United States Treasury Department and the monetary system and currency system in America to the Federal Reserve by the Federal Reserve Act of 1917, backed by J.P. Morgan.
Uh-oh.
Okay, the minute that
That sound
happened,
familiar? Chase Bank?
the minute that happened, it became a note.
That's right.
Because they could do a fiat financial system where they could take $1 and times it times 10 and create money out of nowhere. Now with e-dollars and electronic dollars, this is why everybody in this room is going to get an RFDI chip before you die, because they want to control you. They want to
They
control
will
you.
die trying to give me one of
They
those.
will. I'll
Trust
never
me.
have one.
But the next generation will
They have
open their
companies
arms.
now that are having
and the
the
next
parties.
generation
They're
after
having the
that,
parties to do
they
it.
won't have a choice because it'll be shot into them as they come
At
out of
birth.
the womb.
That's right.
Zoop, that fast.
Birth marked. That's the mark.
That's
of
the
the
mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Do
know,
some,
I mean,
research, folks.
if we go back and we start talking about religion, and the fabrication and symbology of religion and the mythology and folklore of religion, then is God really God? Is God the God that we think God is? Is Yahweh really mean God?
Come here.
Does Yahweh really mean God? Yahweh actually translated in original Hebrew is Enke. Enke comes from the Sumerian tablets, the Anunnaki, Enke, Enel, Anu.
Hello,
These are people that were around the planet Earth before 5 to 8, 10,000 years before ancient Hebrew religion and ideology. Okay, so when you start talking about God and you start saying these types of things, then you really start hitting home with people. Because are we doing things in the name of God? And then what is really God? Hey, got to bring on Bridget Gilroy. Bridget Gilroy just sat in there. Look how beautiful Bridget is. Woo! So we got rid of the old and we got the beautiful.
I'm good with that.
And, you know, of course, he sits you over there, not by me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What is she sitting on?
Trump's face.
She's sitting on.
He's a lucky bastard, isn't he?
Yeah, boy, he's lucky.
Jesus.
Man, he is lucky. It's good to be worth $1 billion or $2 billion, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good to
Yeah.
be president of the United States. I don't
Yeah.
care what they say. Absolutely. So when we start talking about spirit and inspirational and God and the 5 major religions and the mythology and the folklore, then you start getting into an area where you start really tempting people's understanding of what they really believe in or what they think they believe in. Because a lot of what we believe in is fabricated for us to believe in it for a certain way, and that is original control. Because the only way you can control the masses is you have to control their hearts. You can't control them through violence. You can't control them through anything else, starvation or water. You must control their passions. And that's what they're doing right now in this country. So Bridget is a terrific healer. She's a healer. She's gifted. Bridget, she doesn't hear, right? Correct? Doesn't hear. And she speaks, you speak, and you read lips. So put the microphone in front of Bridget. And you've been blessed because of your gift to feel and how to heal people. So can tell us a little bit about, in your words, what it is that you do.
I just do a lot of healing through what I feel, what I see, messages, whatever. Just something that just comes natural to me. It just happened.
I get that.
I
Now,
do stellar release. I go deep into the stellar memory. It's similar to Reiki
uh-huh.
healing, but stellar, it goes way deeper.
So when you tap into these energies, the Asians call it chi. The spirit, the indigenous people call it a spirit energy. When you tap into these energies that each human has, because we are electromagnetic species, we have electricity running through our bodies.
Yes, we
okay, and when you tap into those energies, you're not seeing God, Allah, Buddha, Hindi. You're not seeing any of these entities. You're seeing an energy that is pure. Correct?
I just feel I know what is very pure to me, and that is God.
And how do you utilize that in terms of how do you take that and help people heal themselves?
I just let God use me as a vessel. I'm not the one who just goes out there and do it because I want to do it. It's just something that I gave my life to. If they use me anyway, you got to use me to save the world. And so ever since then, I've been the vessel, and so it took me a long time to understand what I've been doing. But I had a mentor to help me understand my gift and my connection. And now I just like, God, whatever.
Right, and so
I'm yours. Let's do this. Let's save the world. Let's save their minds. Let's save their hearts. Let's save their spirits. Let's save their physical, just whole package of who they are. They need to be saved. We all do. This is our world, and our earth also needs to be saved. This world is screaming. I hear what they cannot hear. I hear the earth bleeding, screaming, because all the souls are trapped here and not able to go because they don't have God.
see, that's passion, and that's faith and passion in an energy that she receives from who she says is God. But the real question is, I believe it goes deeper than that. It goes beyond God. It's a part of our universal infinite.
Exactly.
It's a part of what made Earth, what made space, what made explosions, what makes galaxies, what makes the little flower, the parsley, the lizard, the human being. It's an energy that's there that you are able to tap into, see, because you don't utilize the normal senses, kinetic senses that humans have: sight, ears, listening, voice, touch, feel. You're stronger in some other areas of your senses, and it allows you to tap into that. And so that's what they tap into, those passions. And that's a beautiful thing, and I really appreciate what you do with people, because you're right. Humans always need help. We are a species destined from birth to die. And on that journey, we all need help in some way.
Every single day, because every day something's happening to us. Every day, whether it's people or something spiritual, something unseen, it can be anything. So we constantly need to be cleared, to be cleaned, to be healed daily in every way.
Every living species on this planet, from the minute micronism to us, the top of the charts, they say, in terms of planet and our living corporeal bodies, we all have that struggle, because it's the natural struggle of the universe. But we get clouded with other things. And that's what's happening in our country today, is we are getting clouded and sidetracked about issues that are really very ridiculous when you think about it. And they're trying to manipulate and maneuver mass amounts of people to a direction that they can be controlled. Because religion does not control humanity like it did 1,000 years ago. Okay? And so that's the problem that the media and the power that the media has. Of course. And so if you can understand that, then you can begin to realize that maybe what I'm seeing and hearing isn't all true.
The newspaper, the TV, the radio, your school.
They want to take history out of the schools. What is
they want to make you think a certain way, so you behave a certain way.
I mean, I can't. That's unbelievable. I mean, they want to erase history.
What do you think about that, Dan Man?
First, I want to say I think she speaks excellent.
Absolutely.
And my favorite class in school was sex education, but I kept failing the class.
So he can go back in at the next semester.
And Shark will take my place. Bye, y'all.
Hang on, anyway, don't leave. I just want to let you know, everyone, get in touch with Jessie. If you need to have some work done, she had a company called The Body Detective, and she's worked on me. She sends angels and healing spirits. I like it here. I love you holding that too for me. I love you guys. Thanks a lot. It all starts within each one of us. If you can make yourself better, how can it not affect someone else in a positive way?
So we're running out of time here, and I do agree. One last point. I do agree. You know, there's a great line in one of the Star Trek movies, and I think we could all relate to it. Captain Kirk is being targeted by Cybox, Spock's half brother, and he has this ability to touch people inside and get their most feared time in their life, their most difficult time, and utilize that in his putting an army together. Okay, and he goes to Kirk and he says, "Give me your worst nightmares. Give me your things that happened in your life that were bad." And he starts doing this telepathic stuff with Kirk, and Kirk fights it, and he says, "No, you can't have that. You can't have my worst, because it's what makes me me." They can't change history. It's what makes us us. We can improve on that lesson, but they can't change it, and you got to stop it.
Looking backwards is never going to be. It's just looking backwards. Period is just a waste of time. You know what happened yesterday, an hour ago? It doesn't matter. It's gone. It's history. It has no bearing. The only thing that you can do is tap into what is present and not look too far into the future, because it's unknown.
Round up, wound up. Michael, yes.
Thank you.
Bridget Gilroy, yes. Dan the Man in the background. Special guest Mike Michaels. And the Shark, David Shark Freilich and Jesse T. The Brown Beauty's off duty in the world according to Torero. You're straight on the point. See you tomorrow. See ya.